chapter, we will learn about performance management and its own definition and nature, also the performance management systematic framework, appraisal forms, performance management process, SMART goals, and lastly, key to be considered in. Are you excited? So, let's begin. What is performance management? According to Michael Armstrong, the author of the 10th edition of a Handbook of Human Resource Management Practice, stated that performance management can be defined as a systematic approach and process to improve organizational performance by the development of individual and team performance. It is a method of improving results by evaluating and managing performance within a set of agreed-upon goals, standards, and competency requirements. As stated by the authors Continue.com, in order to have strong performance management foundation and to be able to monitor and evaluate employees, an organization must have a consistent framework. As provided by the site, it is vital to develop a performance management framework in the company because it establishes a framework that connects your company's goals, team members, development, and sales. By building a fluid plan, every department will be able to communicate with one another and each of your employees will understand and appreciate their job within the firm. According to the authors of the website of lmsguide.blogspot.com, Innovation in Education, performance management is a systematic process of planning, monitoring, developing, rating, and rewarding. To better understand, here's an example of performance management systematic framework as provided by the site. For better understanding, let's talk about it one by one. Planning. This process involves setting goals and establishing standards. Monitoring. On the other hand, this process involves measuring performance, giving feedback, and conducting a reviewing progress. Developing. Developing process is about improving good performance and addressing poor performance. Rating. In rating process, it involves summarizing performance and assign a record rating. Rewarding. The last process is rewarding, and this involves recognizing and rewarding employee for a good work. Next topic is about Performance Management System Policy or PMS Policy. An organization's PMS policy. CHS Alliance states that policy is essential in identifying the type of culture you want to foster within your company. If you want to create a performance-based culture, for example, your PMS policy and process should emphasize setting performance-based goals and rewarding performance above else. If you want to create a values-driven culture, the PMS policy and process should prioritize value-based behaviors, which should be explicitly defined and conveyed to all employees. Also, according to CHS Alliance Manual, a clear PMS policy should include a well-defined philosophy for performance management within the organization must include what you're trying to accomplish and why you're doing it. A well-defined process with timetables and responsibility as well as who is responsible for completing it, escalation points, training on how to conduct an effective performance conversation, and employee rights. The relationship between the PMS process and other HR and organizational processes such as salary, reward, and promotions. And that's all about performance management, definition, framework, and policy. Let's move on to the next topic.
Now that we've already learned the definitions and framework of performance management, let's now proceed and talk about the appraisal forms. What is an appraisal form? As stated by the authors of Indeed.com, an appraisal form is a document that you can use to evaluate your employee performance. Ratings and comments on performance are also included. Because one of the purposes of performance appraisal form is to guide employees through a performance review by emphasizing specific items to discuss. More than that, measuring the performance of your employee is an important tool for evaluating success and encouraging development. That's why performance appraisal form is one of the tools that employers use, and they may refer it during an employee evaluation. When making an appraisal form, both HR manager and employee can collaborate on setting goals. To be able to understand more about appraisal form, authors of Indeed.com stated, "What should an HR put in creating an appraisal form? A rating rubric. The HR must think key objectives of an employee's role and categorize them accordingly. The HR must give them a rate for how effective an employee is in accomplishing each goal. And one of the most common rating scales used by the HR is the 5-point rating scale. To illustrate what is 5-point rating scale, here's an illustration of what each numbers signify in this type of rating scale. 1. Equivalent to poor. Consistently fails to meet expectations. 2. Equivalent to fair. Frequently fails to meet expectations. 3. Equivalent to good. Usually meets expectations. 4. Equivalent to very good. Frequently surpasses expectations. 5. Equivalent to excellent. Consistently surpasses expectations. Achievements of the employee. For each performance evaluation, most of HR must fill out a new appraisal form, and during the review period, HR must highlight the employee's outstanding accomplishments. For example, an employer may include what are the projects that an employee had already been completed effectively or what they excelled at. Aspects of the employee's performance that can be improved. To be able to know, an HR must identify where the employee could improve. For example, an employee who does not well communicate with the team or who is usually late, it might affect their productivity. Employees' improvement since last review. If an employee has previously received a performance review, the HR should make a note in order to know if there is an improvement in employees' performance since last meeting. The HR must be able to describe what actions an employee took to meet their previous goals. The professional and career goals. In this topic, the HR must assist and help the employee in setting new professional and career goals for the next review period. An HR can use SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals so that employees are more likely to achieve the goal within allotted time. Comments from the employees. In this part, the HR can let the employees express themselves by writing in the comments section. The employee can express why their work doesn't meet company standards, or they could express what they like and enjoy about their job positions. The information and example that we will present is from the website of sampleforms.com and Indeed.com. They illustrated how an appraisal form looks like and how an HR will evaluate an employee performance using appraisal form. In this example, the name of the employee is Anna Cruz. She is a marketing specialist. Her review period was on July 10, 2019 until January 10, 2020. And the day when she was reviewed for her performance was on January 12, 2020. There are 5 criteria in the given example. First is the collaboration. Anna got 4 points, which means very good because she was an active participant in the latest marketing campaign's team meetings. She worked closely with the campaign's graphic designer to ensure that the graphics match the campaign's goals. Second is the work ethic. Anna got perfect 5 points, which means excellent because Anna has thrown herself into her new role and is putting up the effort to learn and understand her new responsibilities. Third is the problem solving. Anna got only 3 points, which means good because Anna tends to go to her supervisor right away when she runs into a difficulty because she is new in the position. She's gradually acquiring self-assurance and learning how to deal challenges as they come. Fourth is the decision making. Anna got perfect 5 points again, which means excellent because when it comes to creating marketing campaign materials, Anna is wise. She makes marketing campaign decisions based on market research on customer trends on a regular basis. And the last or fifth objective is organization. Anna got 4 points, which means very good because Anna is always punctual and always eager to work. On the 2 days, she arrived late during this review period. She worked late to work her full shift. Her ability to work successfully on marketing campaigns is due to her excellent organization skills. Anna's overall rating is 21/25. Besides the ratings, Anna may receive other feedbacks and reviews from the following. First is about the achievements of the employee. When it comes to her achievement, the HR highlight that Anna was promoted from marketing associate to marketing specialist during her review period because she is putting a lot of effort and hard work in this new position to show that she is capable of taking on more duties. Second is about the aspects of the employee's performance that can be improved. In terms of the aspects that Anna could improve is her problem-solving skills. She could improve her problem-solving skills before seeking assistance. Third is about the employee's improvement since last review. In this part, the HR stated that Anna's previous goal had been to be more punctual at work. She made significant progress toward her goal. When she arrives late on occasion, she always seemed to stay late to make up her time. Fourth is about the professional and career goals. Anna stated during review that she wants to be confident in her new role. She's working toward her goal by attempting to solve more problems on her own. And last is about comments from the employees. Anna stated on her point that this has been a hectic evaluation period and that she's excited to work towards her new goals now that she knew about her skills and weaknesses. And that's it. That is all about the performance appraisal form.
In this topic, we will learn the performance management process. Are you excited? Let's proceed and talk about it. But before we show the process of performance management, let us define first the definition of performance management process. So what is performance management process? Authors of CHS Alliance manually defines performance management process as continuous process rather than a set of discrete activities. According to Ala Musnika of Potential.com, the primary objectives of successful performance management process must align your team, encourage employee development, and improve employee performance. It guarantees that your company's departments, employees, teams, and procedure are all working to achieve organizational goals. For better understanding, the manual of CHS Alliance demonstrated how the performance management process looks like. Let's discuss it one by one. First is about establishing clear, measurable, and agreed upon goals. To ensure that expectations are known and to minimize surprises and potential conflict, it is essential that both the staff and the line manager agree on the objective together. To ensure adherence to strategy, objectives should be cascaded down the organizational structures, starting with the corporate mission, evaluating and assessing performance in the relation to the goals. An employee's performance must be evaluated and discussed with their line manager. What they do should be closely related to the objectives that were given to them. Managers should think about how they might help their employees achieve their goals. Giving feedback on employees' performance. The HR must give feedback to employees in order to know how well they're doing in their job. And this is the most hardest, challenging stage, especially if the performance is poor. Because employee may be unaware that their actions are bothering to others or that they are not meeting the standards set for them. It is vital that HR manager give constructive feedback and where possible use a coaching style by asking questions rather than giving answers. Employees can become more aware of the problem and come up with solutions. After that is about areas for development. Understanding employee skills and attributes can also reveal any areas in which they can improve. That's why an HR must identify employee skills. The performance management process provides an opportunity to examine these areas to ensure that the employee is completely prepared and motivated for his or her job. Lastly is about planning, prioritizing, and deciding on the course of action. It is beneficial to reassess the objectives for the following time for every 6 months or year. Some goals must be still met before they may be carried forward. Based on the organization strategy, there may be some new objectives to organize their work. The employees have to know what the priorities are. Instead of telling employees what to do, the line manager should empower them to determine how they will achieve their goals.
So, we're done with the performance management process. And now, let's move on to second to the last topic of performance management, which is SMART goals. What is SMART goals? The word SMART has 5 letters, which has their own meanings. The SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and lastly, time-bound. Let's discuss it one by one. According to the authors of the website of hrmhandbook.com, S stands for specific. It refers to the need to specify the goal in all of its aspects. The manager must use a detailed sentence to clarify the ultimate goal. The M, on the other hand, stands for measurable. The term measurable refers to a precise definition of measurement that may be used to assess the goal achievement. The employee must be certain of what is most important for achieving goal. The employee can make numerous adjustments throughout the year, but the goal's measurement must be explicit. The manager must be given the measurable result, and the employee must be praised for achieving the goal. The A stands for achievable. Achievable refers to the ability of the managers to create realistic goals. The goals must be challenging, but they must be also be attainable. The employee must be able to ensure that the goal can be achieved within a specified time period and with high quality, because unrealistic goals might cause damage to the motivation of employees. The goals must be dreams and aspirations and not wild dreaming. The employee must be able to figure out how to accomplish the goal. Next, the R stands for relevant. It means that the goals cannot be set solely by the manager. The goals must be in line with the company's overall strategy and the unit's function within the organization. And lastly, the T stands for time-bound. The time-bound indicates that the manager and the employee specify dates for the goal's completion or milestones to be met. And it is vital because both the manager and the employee can plan their activities. Most goals must be completed by a specified date. Since one of the purposes of performance management is to evaluate and to improve employee performance, here's an example of setting SMART goals related to performance management from the website of blog.impulse.oi. According to the authors of the website blog.impulse.com, a SMART goal for reskilling would be specific, prioritize and focus on skill development. Measurable, the manager may track progress and performances after learning the skills. Attainable, allot 30% of the yearly HR budget for learning the skill. The 30% budget may include expenses and reskilling such as equipment, using machines, and such. Relevant, increase productivity and satisfaction among employees. And lastly, for time-bound, in every quarter, there must be a new skill that an employee must learn and possess. For the last topic of performance management, let's proceed to some additional guidance and information of performance management. Here are some additional guidance and information of performance management, stated by the authors of CHS Alliance. A performance management system's effectiveness is determined by how well it is conveyed to employees, who must recognize its value and buy into it rather than seeing it as a burden imposed by HR or a box-ticking exercise. The HR manager's main goal is to make sure that the managers and their teams are communicating about performance goals and expectations on a frequent basis. Managers should give their teams feedback on a regular basis. When making a form, keep in mind that the simpler the instrument and process, the more applicable it will be. Encourage managers and employees to have meaningful interactions while filling out the forms. This idea becomes much more important in an emergency.
Try to see if there is an existing rating scale that staff is familiar with before selecting a rating for the form. This guarantees that all HR procedures are followed consistently. The definition for each point, the rating system is crucial, and all employees should understand them completely. A 3 to 4 or 5 rating scale is commonly used by most organizations. Provide HR manager with as much basic training on how to deliver feedback as possible. This is the most important aspect of the PMS procedures: objective, timely, context relevant. Feedback should always be based on observable facts or behavior. All completed appraisal forms should be collected and reviewed by the HR manager for further analysis. Performance management should ideally be inextricably linked to other HR activities such as compensation increases, promotions, transfer, and succession planning. Appraisal form should be completed and placed in the personnel files of the employees for future reference.